You're still watching Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Migwe. Health Tuesday it is, and today we are looking at healthy living and the whole importance of regular health checkups. Today we are concentrating on the benefits of preventive and routine screenings, especially when it comes to renal matters, especially for people living with diabetes and hypertension. And those conditions, the two conditions, are one of the leading causes of kidney problems, and as such it makes it important that getting regular checkups becomes a priority for you, because according to the Kenya Renal Association figures that we are looking at, 4 million Kenyans are dealing with one or something. They have something that relates to kidney problems, meaning 1 in 10 has such problems. And to help me in this conversation in studio, I'm joined by Dr. Edward Jogu, who is the head of renal department at Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well.
Yes.
And thank you, Mike, for having me here.
Karibu sana.
I am glad to join your section of healthy living.
Yes.
To share the latest.
Yes.
And to share 1 or 2 things with my fellow Kenyans.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed. You know, 4 million is a lot of, is a number too high, meaning
Yes.
1 in 10 persons living with a kidney problem. Why do you think these numbers stand where they are as at now?
I think the high numbers of people who are suffering from kidney diseases, they've been driven by many aspects. One is that previously kidney diseases and ailments have been diseases that people have ignored for a long time. On the other hand, we have the new burden and the new challenge of non-communicable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, kidney, cancer, heart problems. All these are illnesses in one way or the other. They are driving the high numbers of people who are suffering from the kidney diseases. And I think, as we shall be able to see later, is that unfortunately a lot of these kidney diseases do not have the typical symptoms that you'd expect.
Yes.
So these people, the 4 million people you are talking about, which could even be 5 million currently, most of them do not even know they have a kidney problem. Yes.
Indeed. Remember, you can be part of this conversation, and the question of the day that we are asking is, what questions do you have regarding diabetes or hypertension? The number to text or call is 0716 103301. 0716 103301. Daktari, as we continue talking about the common kidney diseases, what are they and what are their primary causes?
Okay. The kidney diseases can be divided into 2. There's what we call acute kidney diseases. Those are diseases that affect kidney for a short time.
Yes.
And there are also others that we call chronic kidney disease that affect kidneys for a long time. The commonest causes, especially if we focus on the chronic kidney disease, which may be more of our focus today, the commonest causes, one is diabetes. It is estimated almost 40% of chronic kidney diseases are caused by the diabetes. Number 2 cause is hypertension, which we also call high blood pressure. And remember, these things, these illnesses, they do not cause the kidney problem over a short time. It is something that is there for a long time. Number 3 is that we have what we call obstructive causes. These are conditions or diseases that block the proper flow of the urine from the body. So the kidneys were working very well, but in one way or the other, through the system of the urine release, then there's a blockage. We find this commonest, especially in men who are suffering from prostate diseases like prostate enlargement or prostate cancer, and this blocks the urine to flow out. We also find this in women who could be suffering from the cancer of the cervix. And because of the cervix, of the blockage by maybe a tumor or a cancer, a person whose kidneys were completely okay, due to the blockage, then their kidneys are affected and they stop working properly. So that is number 3. Number 4, we'd say there are some hereditary diseases that are inherited. And some of the commonest is what we call polycystic kidney disease. So this is a hereditary illness that kidneys tend to have things that we call cysts, and it's also one of the commonest cause of kidney disease. To finish is that there are infections and inflammations that we also that can also contribute to the kidney disease. For instance, there are diseases like lupus. Maybe you have had a condition called lupus. Lupus causes inflammation of the kidney and the kidney system. Infections like HIV, especially if they are left untreated, they can cause infection and inflammation of the kidneys. So those, I would say, are some of the 5 commonest causes of kidney diseases: diabetes, high blood pressure, blockage of the urine, genetic conditions, and some causes of inflammation. Yes.
If we are talking about symptoms of identifying these problems that are relating to kidney disease,
yes,
are these symptoms outright or they are very subtle, and what can one look out for?
Unfortunately, Mike, is that most of the kidney symptoms are very subtle, and some of them only come when the kidney problem is very advanced. But some of the symptoms we would mention concerns the urine. When there are changes in the urine volume, probably the urine volume or the amount or the time somebody was going to relieve themselves becomes very few, and the amount becomes very little, or the amount goes on the other hand. They are going to relieve themselves too much, and they can feel the amount of the urine they are passing is too high. That could be a symptom of the kidney disease. Number 2, if the urine color is changing, for instance, the color may become dark, may be brown, it may be red, or it may be frank blood. That could also be a sign of a kidney disease. Also, there could be foaming. When somebody relieves themselves, they notice that the urine is foaming. That could be an early sign that somebody is having a kidney problem. Other signs that people may have is swelling. That could be swelling of the face and swelling of the leg, but face, especially in the face. And this swelling may be very subtle, may come, it's there in the morning, but in the course of the day, the swelling is disappearing. That could also be another sign of a kidney disease. Finally, high blood pressure could be another early sign of kidney disease. I do not want to scare our viewers. It's not everybody who has high blood pressure has a kidney problem. But many kidney diseases tend to cause high blood pressure. So high blood pressure could be an early sign of a kidney problem. But as you can see from all these symptoms, there is no pain and there is no other major symptoms that or a swelling that would reflect to. And this emphasizes why it is very important to screen and to test people for the kidney diseases. Yes.
And it doesn't mean that even if you have, you don't have hypertension or diabetes, you don't need to go to a screening. You also need to go to a screening to get that assurance that your body is working at its optimal
Definitely,
status.
Definitely.
Now, if you're talking about this screening, Daktari,
yes,
are there tests, specific tests that people need to do, especially if you want to establish if your kidney is working correctly?
Yes, Mike, the tests are there, and they are very simple. I would mention 3 types of tests.
Yes.
The first and there are various ways of doing screening, Mike.
Yes, yes.
Initially, I think before you go to the test, you can just visit a healthcare provider who can do a quick history. Okay, who can ask you about some questions about your personal history, about your family history, because some histories may point towards a kidney problem. Yes. After that, they can do a quick physical examination. After that, there are some tests that can be done. This test is a urine test. There's a test we call urinalysis. That is a very simple test. And through the urinalysis, this is a test that takes about 10 to 30 minutes. Yes. to get the results. From there, your healthcare provider can tell you, are there signs of the kidney, are there signs of kidney disease in your urine? Number two, there's a test we call UECs. That's a very simple blood test. Again, not expensive. It comes out in about an hour or 2 hours, and the doctor or your provider can be able to give you the results and tell you if your kidney test or your kidneys are working well. Okay. On very special cases, somebody may require what we call an ultrasound. An ultrasound is a safe scan that can be done. It checks your kidneys, it checks your urine system, and your healthcare provider can be able to tell you, is there any abnormalities that are seen on your kidneys or your urinary system. In addition to that, there are a few other simple screening tests, like for sugar. You understand what I said, majority of our kidney diseases are caused by diabetes. So even screening for sugar is part of screening for the kidney.
And this is to establish sugar levels within the body?
Yes, to establish your sugar levels in the body. And your healthcare provider can be able to tell you, do you have diabetes or not? Also, during that screening, you can have the blood pressure taken. And because again, high blood pressure is the second commonest cause of kidney diseases. So with checking a sugar, blood pressure, a urine, and the blood test for the kidney, a lot of screening and information can be obtained that can help a person know the status of their kidneys and their kidney health. Yes.
If you're talking about this screening, Daktari,
yes.
How often should they be? For either you have these problems of diabetes, hypertension and kidney problems, or you are just healthy. How regular should these screenings be?
Okay, so I think this screening has been tried to be simplified. What we would say is that for somebody who is healthy and they have been tested previously, they do not have any chronic diseases or illnesses or conditions like diabetes or hypertension, then the recommended screening is 60 years. Okay, 60 years. So that if somebody is 60 years, even if you feel you are completely healthy, or even if you feel your parent is completely healthy or a relative and you want to help them in their health, they should go for the screening. And they are advised to do for screening every 1 to 2 years, even if they are completely healthy.
Okay.
But for people who have other conditions, people who have diabetes, people who have high blood pressure, people who are living with HIV, people who have cancer or have suffered cancer before, people who have a heart condition, or people who have a strong family history of kidney diseases, they should start evaluation by the age of 40. Okay? So, and after they have been tested the first time, their healthcare provider should be able to advise them how frequently they should be testing. But generally is 1 to 2 years. They should be getting this kidney test. Okay? And even if we say it is 60 years for people who are healthy, there's really no problem even when a younger person goes for testing after the age of 40. But the people who have these chronic conditions, this must be done very diligently. After the first test, your healthcare provider may say, While other people, we test them every year, we want to do every 6 months,
Yes.
or we want to do every 3 months. So your provider can be able to advise you how frequently you can do the test.
Indeed. In terms of demographics and from
Yes.
your practice,
Yes.
what demographic is more susceptible to these problems? And from your practice also, is there an indication that these kidney problems are now affecting the younger generations as opposed to yesteryears?
Yes, previously, a lot of kidney problems were isolated to people who were elderly, and that is why that age of 60 had been there. But now with the change of the diseases and the patterns of the diseases that we are now having in the country, in the world, we are having much younger people. We have quite a significant number of teens, quite a significant number of young people, even below 40, who are having kidney diseases, and even a few children who are also suffering from chronic kidney diseases. So there is every reason to encourage people who are above 40 years to go for testing and for screening. And even those people who have chronic conditions and they are below 40 years, they should be tested regularly and be screened regularly for kidney diseases. Yes.
Indeed. Remember, you can be part of this conversation, and our question of the day is, what question do you have regarding diabetes or hypertension? The number to text is 0716 103301, 0716 103301, and we shall sample some of your texts as the program continues. That is a question of the day displayed on your screen. What do you have? What question do you have regarding diabetes or hypertension? We shall be sampling some of your text as the program continues. Daktari, now, diabetes, as you have said, is one of the causes of kidney problems.
Yes.
We have diabetes and hypertension.
Yes.
Can they occur together?
Yes, they can.
What are the dangers there?
They can occur together, and actually many times they seem to develop together for many people. And in addition, some people who are diabetic seems to develop high blood pressure after some time, and vice versa. There could be many reasons that cause that, but what we'd say is that a lot of the risk factors for diabetes are also risk factors for hypertension. So if it is some genetic aspects, if it is a lifestyle aspect, many of those diet, exercise, activity, and all that, a lot of these are interrelated. And sometimes as the diabetes progresses, one of the complications of the diabetes with time is also development of high blood pressure. So there is a close interrelationship between the two conditions. They are sisters.
Yes.
Yes.
And even as we are talking about benefits of these preventive and routine screenings,
Yes.
If there is diabetes and hypertension, kidney problems, how does treatment look like?
That's a broad question in terms of treatment. So how I would think about it is that the treatment, there's an aspect of prevention, there's an aspect of diagnosis, and there's an aspect of the actual, now what we call treatment and medication.
Yes.
So I think in terms of what would start with, probably is the how could we be able to prevent kidney diseases. I think that would be one of the areas that we can think about. And there could be very many aspects of the prevention of the kidney diseases. And one of the aspects, of course, is lifestyle. And I think for now, people have been educated a lot about lifestyle changes and adjustments that they need to do to protect their kidneys. And some of the lifestyle changes include what people eat and their diet. And many times we are encouraging people to take food that has less sugar and less salt, food that is rich in vegetables and fruits. If somebody has already a kidney disease, they will need to discuss the aspect of the vegetables and fruits with their provider. But for now, we are talking as a way of preventing kidney disease. Of course, we encourage people to take less processed food, which are becoming more and more popular. And of course, in terms of fluid and hydration, kidneys love water, and we encourage people to drink sufficient water. People have mentioned 8 glasses in a day, which translates to about 2 liters. Of course, some people require slightly less than that, others require slightly more than that, but that is on the aspect of diet. We encourage people to be healthy, to stay active, and to exercise. Again, because of the change in the society and our work and job, a lot of people now are leading more sedentary lives. But we encourage people to stay active, do an exercise of at least 150 minutes per week. That's about 30 minutes aerobic activity 5 days a week. Smoking is very harmful to the kidneys, and we encourage people to stop smoking, and those who have not started, they should not start smoking. Limiting alcohol, excessive use of alcohol is harmful to the kidneys. We encourage people to maintain the correct weight, because obesity has now been proven is a cause of kidney diseases, and this is now affecting, as you said, young people. So young people, you just find they don't have diabetes, they don't have hypertension, they are obese. You do a kidney biopsy to check what is happening to them. You just find it is their overweight and the overweight or obesity that is killing their kidneys. So people need to maintain the healthy weight. There are a lot of herbal medications and supplements that people are taking. I think people need to criticize a bit more. Why do I need this supplementation? Why do I have to take this herbal medication? Some herbal medications we do not know. There are herbal medications that it's clearly known what somebody is taking, but there's also a lot of backstreet herbal medication. You don't know the ingredients. They have been shown to be harmful to the kidneys, harmful to the liver. And finally, this aspect of over-the-counter medications. Some of the painkillers and medications people are buying habitually for a very long time over the counter. Some of them have been shown to be harmful to the kidneys. So I would encourage the viewers and the listeners to look at some of this preventive way as a way of protecting their kidneys even before we come to the actual medication or treatment for their kidneys.
Doctor, you mentioned something about eating fruits, but then again, these fruits have sugar. Then there is that sugar, natural sugar, and this other one, synthetic sugar. So where is the balance? Do you take fruits that are, because you're talking about fruits like melon, apples, pawpaws, mangoes, they all have sugar. So how do you approach that?
So what I would say, Mike, is to make the talk very simple for our viewer and our listener, is that if somebody has other conditions like diabetes or the kidney, they may require special advice on the kind of fruit they may need to eat, and that can be discussed another time and can be discussed personally with a nutritionist, or a dietitian. But for the general population, having a mango, eating an orange, eating a pawpaw, eating some berries, it should not really be a problem to them. okay? But a few people with some conditions, they need their fruit regimen and sizes discussed and personalized by a dietitian, especially people with diabetes or people who have already developed especially advanced kidney disease. But most of the general population, they tend to take less fruits than, the worry is that they take less than enough.
Even when you look at social media, talk is rife about, oh, I don't know, you take melon, you take mangoes, you are taking sugar, and that is going to damage your kidneys. And people are listening to all manner of information on social media and taking it as the actual advice,
yes,
without even consulting
yes,
the expert. I think it should be important to consult someone, you know.
It is, they need to consult, and in addition,
yes,
we are also not taking sufficient vegetables, greens, you know. Those are things that are getting less and less in our plate,
yes,
and you find our plates have more and more carbohydrates, more and more proteins, and more spices and manufactured processed things to make the food taste sweeter or better. But that aspect of spinach, that aspect of cabbage, skuma, terere, and other traditional vegetables that people used to take, that is growing less and less.
Yes.
And majority of Kenyans, especially men, they need to take more of that. They should not say that's for children.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Let's say I just woke up today and I want to just go and do a checkup.
Yes.
For my kidney. What kind of a test should I go and ask for?
Okay. So the level of testing can be what we call basic, okay, and can also be a bit more comprehensive, okay. The basic tests is what I have mentioned today.
Yes.
Blood pressure, sugar, urine, it's called urinalysis. Number 4, UECs. We call it UECs.
Yes.
That's a blood test. We would call that a basic package for the kidney, okay? But we can have even a more comprehensive. It will include the basic, have your blood pressure, your weight, your BMI calculated. It will have the sugar, have the urinalysis, and have the UECs. But on top of that, there are a few other tests that are associated with kidney health, like what we call HB1C. That's, we call it glycated hemoglobin. There is a test we also call uric acid that can also be added there. Another test that can be added there is what we call UACR. UACR. If you talk to your doctor about UACR, they would be able to tell you what it is test. It's a urine test. And finally, somebody can have an ultrasound. An ultrasound is a scan. It's a safe and very quick scan that is able to look at the structure of your kidneys and look if there's any problems in your system. And when the scan is done, for men, it will also be able to look at the prostate and the bladder, and for the women it will be able to look at the kidneys, look at their bladder, and it can give you more information. So depending on your preference, on your finances, you can either do the basic package or you can even do a bit more comprehensive test for the kidney. Yes.
Is there a way that can expectant mothers, can they go for these screenings during the period of the pregnancy?
Yes. So pregnant mothers usually go through some of these screening initially at the beginning,
yes,
but not all of them are recommended.
Okay.
There are particular ones that are recommended by the midwives and the obstetricians, and it is very important for them because, again, there are diseases, there are kidney diseases that can develop during pregnancy. However, after delivery, after about 1 year, then we would invite them to come back and have a more comprehensive test. But yes, there are basic tests that can be done in pregnancy, and they can be able to be guided by the midwife or their healthcare provider on those tests. Yes.
Let's say a diagnosis has proven that you are diabetic or you have hypertension.
Yes.
How can one manage that condition to protect their kidneys and prevent further damage?
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a very good question, and it affects a big part of our population. Is that the first step is to accept, because one of the challenges we have with our people is that many people do not accept that this problem is there. We need an aspect of acceptance whereby people accept, yes, I've been diagnosed with diabetes, I've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, but this is not the end, because many people say it is not there. They say the doctor is exaggerating. They say, I can't feel pain, I don't feel unwell, I think this illness is imaginary. I want to emphasize that these are what we call NCDs. They are non-communicable diseases.
Yes.
They don't have pain, and you cannot use symptoms to decide on the treatment.
Yes.
So acceptance. Number two, of course, is education and knowledge. And I believe this is part of the reason why, Mike, you are holding this show, is to educate people, to help them understand that these illnesses are very different from the previous illnesses of malaria, TB, and others that people understood a while ago.
Yes.
After that is that we encourage proper control of the diabetes and the high blood pressure. So your healthcare provider will be able to guide you whether you need medicine or not. So the control of those illnesses involves the lifestyle adjustment. So there are people whose diabetes or blood pressure can just be controlled by lifestyle adjustment. So if that is what your healthcare says, then they should be able to treat you to target. Okay? So whether they are going to use lifestyle or they are going to recommend medication, I recommend to the viewer and to the listener to be able to follow the recommendation their doctor or healthcare provider has given.
Yes.
Most importantly, whatever method they use, then we say they need to be treated to target. Okay, there's a certain level we want the sugar to be for a particular person. There's a target that we want the blood pressure to be. So ensure with your healthcare provider you are meeting those targets. Understand what are your targets, okay, and journey with your healthcare provider to see that you have reached those targets. So if the BP is not well controlled, speak with your healthcare provider to see what else do we need to do, what do we need to adjust, do we need to add a medicine, do we need to remove a medicine to ensure that I'm treated to target. After you've been treated to target, people who are suffering this condition, they must agree to be going for regular clinics. A lot of people, after they feel well, then they disappear from the clinics. Even if the clinics are spaced every 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months, depending on your healthcare provider, please ensure you attend the clinics. Do not disappear, because we see many people, they disappear into the thin air only for them to come back when things have gotten worse and they never discovered. Remember what we said is that many times these illnesses don't have symptoms. So many clinics are about 3 to 4 months. So ensure you adhere to those clinics. During those clinics, apart from the consultation and discussion with your doctor or provider, kindly ensure the screening tests are done. So every 1 to 2 years, or however you'll be guided by your provider, ensure that the screening tests are being done, so that you can always objectively also check and see how the internal organs, like the kidney, are working. So that is one way, that is a way I would advise my listener as a way of dealing with diabetes, hypertension, and protecting their kidneys. Yes.
You know, you said something very important, and I think you need to stress on it. You cannot use symptoms to decide treatment.
Yes.
Because that is the biggest mistake that people make.
Yes.
If you may expound more on it.
Yes. So what we have found is that people are having challenges of transitioning from what we call communicable diseases to non-communicable diseases. So communicable diseases were diseases like TB, malaria, pneumonia, diarrhea. So these are diseases that had symptoms. If you had TB, people are used to, you'd cough. If you had malaria, people are used to have joint pains and fever. If somebody had typhoid or something, or cholera, then they would have diarrhea and vomiting.
Yes.
So now that mindset, it's very difficult for many people to transition, especially the older people, because they say, that thing that I cannot feel, that thing that I cannot see as swelling, that thing that I can't see the symptom, then it does not exist. Then if it doesn't have symptoms, then it cannot harm me, okay? But we are here to educate them that many of now the newer illnesses, they are very, very silent. They don't have pain, they don't have swelling, and may not have symptoms. And some symptoms may only be picked when you go to be tested. And some diagnoses may only be made when a test has been done. So we emphasize, please do not wait for symptoms, okay? Go and be ahead of the symptom. Of course, another thing, of course, people say, if I discover something, it will stress me. I think we used to have a lot of this kind of thinking with the HIV/AIDS. And I think the society now has accepted, I better know my status, and if it is negative, I know how to live negatively. If it is positive, I know how to live positively, and I know I can get intervention. The same thing applies with these diseases. You better know your condition so that you can protect what is there. And even if you are discovered to have a kidney problem, it is better you know so that you protect the part of the kidney that is remaining, or you can get a treatment that can help reverse something that is already happening to your kidney. So hiding and burying the head under the sun is not a solution.
Yes.
Thank
Someone
you.
is asking, is there kidney transplant at Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital?
Yes. Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital is a level 6 hospital, highly specialized, offers a lot of highly specialized treatments, and currently they are also offering transplant services. If somebody is interested, they can call toll-free number 1558, or they can visit a transplant clinic. We have a weekly transplant clinic that runs on Tuesday morning hours from around 11 a.m. A day like today, and they can meet our competent staff members who can be able to advise them on the next steps about the kidney transplant. So they have already carried out several successful transplant surgeries from the beginning of this year.
Okay.
Thank you.
For those who may not access specialized care and they have these problems, what practical steps can they take to ensure that they protect their kidneys?
So I think this question is not a very easy one, especially where access is an issue. I think this has been raised especially in people in rural areas whereby maybe the healthcare services are not very well supported, or they are very far. But I would start with a positive note, is that many of the lifestyle adjustments that we have mentioned, many of them are easier to implement, especially on the rural areas. They are likely going to get a better diet, more fresh fruits and vegetables. They mainly partake less processed foods. They are able their work involves a lot of walking and physical work, which is protective to their kidneys. I would also inform them that 75% of the causes of the kidney diseases is diabetes and high blood pressure. So diabetes and high blood pressure, these are conditions that can be managed in level 2 and level 3 hospitals, which are available in many places, whether in the rural or even here in the urban centers. I would also say that many of the tests, the screening tests that I have advised for the kidneys, they can be done in level 3 and level 4 hospitals, okay? And in those hospitals, they also have doctors who are qualified to deal with the early stages of the kidney. So I think there's still something that can be done, even in places where these highly specialized services are not offered, and they may be able to deal maybe with over 80 to 85% of the diabetes, hypertension, and the kidney conditions. However, if they are beyond the level of those hospitals, then we, even many faith-based and private hospitals, they are able to carry out some, because in some rural areas you find they are faith-based, they are also government hospitals. So there are few cases, unfortunately, they will require referral to level 5 and level 6 hospitals. And honestly speaking, I would say if a condition for a patient has reached there and that service is not available there, I think a referral to a higher level is better to safeguard the health of that person.
Indeed.
Yes.
Dr. I want you to look at that camera and talk to Kenyans about why screenings, regular screenings, are important.
Okay, thank you, Mike. My fellow Kenyans, what I would say is that diabetes and hypertension and other non-communicable diseases have increased, and the number of people suffering from this condition is much higher than previously. And unfortunately, many times the kidney problems and kidney illnesses, they do not have symptoms until they have advanced. So the best way to diagnose and deal with the kidney problems is by screening, and screening early so that a problem can be diagnosed and can be addressed early. So I'm encouraging every person who is over 60 years and has no other condition, or a person who is 40 years and has a strong family of kidney diseases in their family, or they have diabetes, hypertension, HIV, lupus, cancer, heart condition, then even from the age of 40, agree to go for the screening. Screening is available, screening is not complex, and screening is not expensive. Please take control of your kidney health by screening early and addressing the problem early.
Yes.
Thank you.
Indeed. Dr. Your time is very much appreciated.
Thank you.
That is Dr. Edward Njogu from the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. He is the head of the renal department. This is where we end this conversation